Two, one. Squish. Hello and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we are back with the project here of my phone pouch that I'm creating. I already made one for my wife. It's time to make one for me. I wanted one as well, so we're going to work on that. I am joined tonight by my lovely wife, Mandy, and together we're going to see how much of this we can get done. I don't think I'll be able to finish it tonight, but I think I'm going to get it like to where it's so close that maybe next week I can. I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes, but right now I'm quite optimistic. Okay. And despite having not done this for a week, it just feels like a second nature again. It's just kind of really getting used to this pattern. This is the same pattern I used for my wife's phone case, so. My phone is going off. Okay. So last week when we finished this up, we like left it at a spot where it was all even all the way around. So now I'm doing this one small bit here, and then I'll bring it in for like to do 2 rows at a time.
Wonder where everybody is.
I know, right? I suspect it has a little bit to do with better weather. Hard to sit around and watch videos when the weather is really nice. Hey, Rainbow made it. Wonder why it was. I guess the internet must be bad there, huh? All right, where's my mouse? So we have a vertical stream again. Figure out try it once more just to. Been kind of disappointing the numbers of views over there. I get that it's a different kind of what they expect within like, a few seconds or whatever, but we'll try. I do like the notion that it's like people who wouldn't normally watch get a little taste of it. So then occasionally somebody will be like, hey, that's really neat. I'm still torn between the notion of like, should I have used colors that had greater contrast, or if the subtlety of this is like really awesome. I don't know. Yeah. The camera kind of picks it up, makes it look like there's more contrast than there really is. So I don't know. It's in real life, it's really, really subtle. Like Mandy's, the one I did for her, like those colors definitely, there was like 3 just very, very different colors. So it really pops. All right, so that just did one section. Now I'm going to do these 2. So I'm going to bring down like a longer amount. It just kind of helps make it go a little bit faster. Not by much, but a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, that totally happens sometimes where, you put them next to each other, it looks awesome, then you actually make something and you're like, yeah, that's not as awesome as I was hoping. Yeah. Yeah, if I don't manage to convince myself that this turned out well, imagine the disappointment I will have. So I'm not sure about the colors. Hey, is it Abdul Bassett? Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, welcome. Doing good. Hello. So yeah, you're over on the vertical stream. Welcome. It's kind of different from the bigger screen version, but yeah, cool. Welcome. So by doing these longer rows like this and doing like a bigger section instead of just doing the individual spaces, it does make it go quite a bit faster. Learned that last week when we actually got so much accomplished in just our 3 hours, so a little less than 3 hours. Thank you. I don't know, something's gone wrong. Normally I get the chat to plays like I get to hear it in my headset, but it's not working right now. I'm not sure why.
We're from Singapore.
Oh, I missed that question. Yes, well, I'm in Singapore. I'm originally an American, but I came to Singapore, is it 13 or 14 years ago, honey?
14.
14 years ago. Amazing.
Where are you from, Abdul?
That's a good question. Pakistan. Wow. We don't get a lot of people from Pakistan. That's awesome. Islamabad. That is such a fun name to say. I love the name of that one. So yeah, you can. So you can't really tell like the above. Let's see, where's the screen? Where's the sun? There's probably another inch above the top over here. I moved it down so you can actually see like the knots being formed, but it actually is taller than this. We put in a lot of time and effort to get it as far as it is right now. It's taken me a while to where I can just do this pattern without having to like look at the design or whatever on the computer. So I'm kind of happy about that I've finally gotten beyond that point. Now I can like look at the lyrics of the song that's playing or whatever else I want to do. Stand up and shout. I can do things my way. It's my way, my way, my way. So this is one of the few crafts that I think where you can just take string and make so many things out of it. And I love the ability to just create patterns and designs and make things for people. In this case, I'm making for myself, but you know. I'm gonna see. Hang on, give me a second here. Oh, I see why it's not playing sound. Hang on. Is it this? All right, so type something into the chat, would you?
Test.
Yes, I can hear the chat again. Woohoo.
Sure, hi again, hee.
Yeah. So because I'm so face down in the knots and stuff, I often miss what's going on in the
Nice.
chat. So I have this thing that actually reads out the chat to me so that way I can like keep working and have conversations. So it's kind of important to have that thing working. So yeah.
And so can we, lol.
Yeah. It makes you guys all a little robotic voice in my ear. Okay, stuff like that just confuses the poor little bot.
We can hear the voices in his head now.
Wait, you guys can hear it? Can you guys hear it? If it is,
We are doomed.
I have to change its what it connects to.
We can hear that bot that plays the audio, haha.
Oh, hang on. Then it's on the wrong thing. Hang on. It'll make you guys crazy. I don't want to do that. Sound.
Yes, we can hear it.
Let's try this one. Okay, can you hear it now?
LMAO.
Wait, now I can't hear it. Hang on.
Yes, we can still hear it. Test again.
Nope, now I can't hear it. Which one is it supposed to connect to? There's supposed to be like a line or whatever that's supposed to make it so that way only I can hear it. Hang on, let me see if I can find out which one it is on this. Oh. I think I can fix it easy.
Kevin is trapped out of his head and we are trapped in.
Let's try again. Sound. Okay, I could hear it that time. Could you hear it? I see what happened. I turned off a thing that makes it so that way you your deed. Can you hear it? The bot? Yeah, I can hear it, but you can't. Woohoo. Yeah, it was my Elgato thing that was making the mistake. It was set to where it could play both for me and you at the same time. So, yay! Yeah, I can hear the chat now. Yeah. So the funny thing is I can hear my wife, in my headphones. I can hear my music in the headphones, and I can hear your guys' chat in my headphones. It gets kind of busy in here. Don't break the Kevin. Okay. Yeah, we don't want to break the Mandy. So now we've gone from here down this far. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, that's not good. My hand just cramped up big time. Hey, honey, can you bring me some of those tablets? I don't think I'm going to be able to continue this if my hands are going to do that. I've got magnesium tablets that help stop the cramping. Thank you, sweetie. No, my whole channel is really dedicated to the string. I have thought about like venturing off and doing some other additional things, but I really ended up with a crowd of people that are learning how to do stuff, and I think it would just really kind of I like a lot of the people who watch would become like, I don't know, disappointed if I started doing other stuff. I have thought about it. Because like earlier today, I was playing Lego Star Wars. I thought it'd be hilarious to like show people like me trying to play this game. But then I was like, you know, everybody comes here looking for the string, looking for how to tie the knots, looking for how to create new patterns and stuff. So I think I've kind of dug myself into a niche. Cool. So now I got to start on the next row. Hang on. Let me, oh, so that's the thing here too. It's a whole cylinder here. You don't get to see all of it at once because I have it in a sleeve. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that might actually be. Is there crafts like this in Pakistan? That might actually be something I would really be into, is like seeing how other people are doing it. I've seen like in Indonesia, like how they were doing it with like thread, which is pretty crazy. But they were doing it with thread, and the way that they work it. Yeah. Wow. Trying to think how to have you send me links. I'd like if there's like a YouTube channel or something to check out for that. The Dead. So many thoughts going on through my head, but the only ones here is Rock the Dead. Yeah. But that doesn't go. The Discord would work out really well. Yeah. So I have a Discord channel, but that's all over on the other stream where the links and stuff are, the horizontal stream, because you're in the vertical, which is weird. Yeah, you could share links with like some of the creators that do it. Yeah, I could totally react to like other people doing the same kind of crafts. Plus, it might be fun to do some like collaborations with them. Go to this? No. I almost started to go into the, like 3 rows instead of just 2. Holy smokes. Talk about overkill. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think they sent links over to the vertical stream, so you should be able to join up the Discord. If you've got like any channels in particular that, because I'll do collabs as well as, you know, yeah, I could totally react to some other similar type crafting stuff. I think that would be really cool. I'm always kind of open to some new ideas for here because I've been kind of doing this for a while now. Right. No, thank you, Rainbow. it'd be interesting to see how other cultures do the similar stuff. To be honest, I can't even imagine, like, because I know like the craft that I learned from uh, mostly came from like down in Guatemala. That's where like I had a friend who used to go buy bracelets really, really cheap and bring them back up into the States and sell them at concerts. Got a lot of inspiration from those guys and got into making more intense patterns and stuff myself. But as far as like what's going on in other parts of the world, yeah, it could be really cool. There might be a little bit of an issue with language barriers, but Google's pretty good right now with the whole closed captions. So as long as like they've double checked their video for like their own language, it should come out pretty clear. So wait, let's see. Yeah, this is, we're really close to the end, like where the phone goes. If we don't finish it tonight, it'll be finished next week. That's my prediction. Oh, we last week we were talking about the number of what's the word again? The the what's the number? My bag has 8. Yours has 9. Iterations. That word, I love the word, but I keep forgetting it. So this one has only 8 iterations as opposed to Mandy's 9. Because Mandy had an odd number, we had to like end it with a really flat row, so that way the knots going all the way around could work out. But because this one's an even number, I can leave them jagged and have it come down into like little tassels or whatever. So yeah, it's gonna be a whole lot easier than last time. Oh, so this is the last day of the month. I always kind of trip out when it happens like this. So the first Sunday of the month is our hangout day over on Discord. So like all my YouTube members can like chat with me and talk about just about anything really. But yeah, it's the first of the month is the Sunday. So that's tomorrow. So that's kind of cool. Okay. the part of like why I'm doing it like 2 segments at a time for this part is that it's just basically it's faster. It's just I don't have to rotate it around nearly as much. If I just do 1 section at a time, I would end up moving this thing around a lot more. So yeah. I don't know how long it's taken to get. I'm almost done with this 2-row part that I've done here. I don't know how long it's actually taking me to just do one of these. But there'll be like 6.5 more to go to have this row done. Oh, thank you, Haley. Thank you very much. You can only actually see a part of it because it's a whole cylinder. But yeah, thank you. Honestly had anticipated having to add a lot of string to be able to make this thing come down far enough, but it's already almost the length of my phone as it is, and I have a fair amount of string left over, so I'm kind of fortunate, I guess. Okay, so now, so there's the cylinder. So if I rotate it around a bit, I can give myself a new area to work on, and then slide it up onto this. It's I cut down a piece of a really thin cutting board, so that way I'd have something to hold it in place for me. I didn't mean for it to be quite as tight as it is, but I guess it works out pretty cool. So. So like for 2 rows here, I'm just extending the rows all the way through 2 of the sets here. Don't mean to be as quiet as I am. I just can't think of what to talk about. Oh, fun week. So I got to go see my shrink this week. And I told her that I've been told that I might have, be somewhere on the spectrum of autism, and that I'm not sure how I feel about it. And that if I am, would it actually change anything? And that came back pretty much no. Like, even if I was, it's okay. So I'm kind of okay with that. I've always said that, like, I probably have more letters, like ADHD and all that. I probably have more letters than alphabet soup. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. And then one of my fans, who's been like an OG for years now, went and got their ear pierced and had an extra. I guess when you buy the earrings for getting your ear pierced, there's 2 of them, and I was gifted the other one, which was hilarious because when I showed up at the place with the thing and the receipt, they're like, "Oh, this was just a couple days ago." And she's like looking me over and trying to figure out like where the other earring went. And she's like, "You're not supposed to take them out right away." I'm like, "I know. I mean, I've had my other 2 ears, earring holes since like, since I was like 16 and 20, and of course I knew that not to take it out." And she's like, "Well, where's the other earring?" I said, "My friend's ear." And I was like, "Oh." So then we got down to business, and I haven't really thought much about having like a 3rd hole in my ear, because I always thought 2 was, manly enough. It was cool. But lately I've been watching One Piece, and Roronoa Zoro has 3 holes with like 3 dangly things hanging down. Like, because I guess he has 3 swords, so he has to have 3 holes in his ear. I don't know. but I thought it'd be really fun to be able to go out and get earrings like his and see if anybody actually recognizes it out in public. So yeah, I now have an extra hole in my head. Yeah. Blame it on my ADD. It definitely feels like we're going through this pretty quickly. So I started out making friendship bracelets, which was just embroidery floss tied in knots. And then you end up with like cool patterns and interesting things like that. But then I kind of like took it a little bit further. And now I'm making, this is going to be a phone case, but I've made bags. I've made cans for like holding pen holders, that kind of stuff. Like, yeah. So like I made a can to hold my clips. Hello. Yeah, it's just knots out of embroidery floss that is going to be a phone case. Yeah, so this is going to be for my phone. Something to just kind of keep it from getting scratched up while it bounces around in my backpack. Yeah, it's a cylinder. So yeah, it'll be, the phone will slide in. It'll be a little bit like this was a camera, or sorry, a eyeglasses case that I did. It'll be a little bit like that, just a little bit bigger is all. That is for real. Get your boogie on. Get your boogie on. It's kind of crazy how quickly this is coming together. It helps to know what the pattern is and where I'm going with it. Like earlier, trying to get started on it, I kept having to refer to the pattern on the computer screen. It definitely slows things down a lot. Yeah, it'd be really nice if we could finish this up tonight. I don't know if that'll happen. Oh man, the other day I almost had a mental breakdown. I couldn't figure out why my microphone wasn't picking up at all. And I was started to do like the regular kind of diagnostic things of, you know, checking this, checking that, checking the other, and everything just pointed at the fact that the microphone just was not getting any sound. And I couldn't figure out what I could have possibly have done. And I don't know when it finally dawned. I'm like, so it doesn't matter. I'm not recording voice today. I can live without it. I'll be all right. But later that day, I suddenly realized that I have a stream deck that makes it so I can switch scenes and hit record and do stuff. It seemed that when I moved the screen from one to the next screen over, I hit mute on the microphone. And that's why it wasn't picking up, was because I basically told it not to. And yeah, I really had no idea until I discovered that. And then it was like everything went back to working. And like, of course, it had to be something that simple, something I would totally overlook. If it ever happens again, I'll know what to look for, but it's like never happened to me before. It wasn't like I had pushed the button deliberately. It was just because you have to, like, it's a touch screen and you have to kind of put your hand on it and slide. So apparently when I put my hand on it, that extra couple milliseconds was enough to give the computer the impression that I wanted to do that as well. I just got done doing a couple really cool projects. So I did a pair of chapstick holders and have them attached onto one of my backpacks. I had it kind of clipped on with this sort of like a bag clip thing, but it got kind of bent out of shape for some odd reason. And so now I have it on with like a keychain. I'll show you guys. And now it's like, yeah, so this thing is kind of bent out of shape and I don't trust it. So I have it on with a keychain now. But yeah, one side has chapstick and the other one has the Vicks inhaler. It's pretty cool. The tutorials are already all made and everything, but they don't come out until next month. So if you're interested, just become a member, and then you can get all the access to the videos early, and you can check that out. I kind of made it as basically easy as possible, so that way anybody could kind of join in and make themselves something fun. So basically, I have to do 2 long rows and then 2 smaller segments. And then I go on to the next one. It's very, very repetitive, but it looks cool. So it's okay. Normally something that's like too repetitive drives me crazy because it feels like there's no sense of an accomplishment. But because like I can kind of measure this in like how many rows I've gone around, you know, things like that, I kind of feels a bit more of an accomplishment, which is important when you're like doing it for the whole dopamine rush. I can get excited over every little segment. It's kind of like if you have ADHD and you're trying to, you know, regulate that whole feeling accomplished or whatever. This is like a great hobby because you can be like, oh, look, I did a row, or oh, look, I did several rows, or oh, look, I made a whole thing. And it really feels kind of good. Say hello to tomorrow. To a tangerine sky. my fingernails are a bit short, so it's kind of making it harder sometimes to pull up this individual string I'm supposed to be using. Another thing I think that's helping me make this go faster, I just realized, is since I've done so much, all the strings are shorter. So the amount of time it takes to pull a string up into a knot is minutely smaller than amount of time than it was when the strings were long. So it kind of makes sense that it would go faster. To a tangerine sky. To a tangerine sky. Say hello to come. It's awfully quiet. How's the tennis matches going? So what was the final score? Oh, that sucks. Are they? That was kind of a little bit ago. Wait. Playing on what? My Spotify just tried to attach to something other than my computer. I don't know why. Yeah, they were asking what this was. That was a little bit ago. Yeah, no, it's okay. Not good looking out though. Wait, why is my... Why am I doing this? I am making a phone case for myself. Something that I wouldn't even be able to purchase at a store because there's nothing else quite like it. So I'm taking string, tying it into hundreds and hundreds of little knots, and making it into a fabric. It's a cylinder. You can only see half of it. There's a piece of plastic that goes down the middle. Makes it easier to not grab the wrong string and make a mistake. But I do it to teach people that, you know, what can be done. And yeah. Ooh, that's a good question. I've been doing these on live streams where I work for about 3 hours, and I think tonight makes either the fifth or the sixth one. So like all in 20 hours, maybe a little bit more. Mind you, it would be impossible for me to work 20 hours straight. You know, like no matter how many Red Bulls I tried drinking or whatever, my hands just would not be able to have done it. But yeah, it really depends. Some patterns go faster than others. This is kind of going a little bit faster for me now. I was just kind of speculating as to why it's faster. Possibly the strings are getting shorter, so that's a little bit easier. My knowledge of the pattern is better, so that helps. I'm not having to like refer to references to do anything. So this is like 100 and, would you say it was 112 strings? So this is 112 strings going around. Where did I learn this? I am mostly self-taught. A girl taught me how to tie knots going to the right, and that was it. And from there, I pretty much figured this out. Like I started back in 87 with making just knots going always to the right hand side. They call them candy stripes. And somewhere along the line, I decided that if I tied it backwards, I could make it go the other direction. And from there, I just went kind of crazy with patterns and designs and stuff. So I've been doing this for quite a while. And part of my main purpose is to teach other people that it's really not that difficult. You can make cool stuff. Well, thank you. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. I do on AKAAWOL.com. AKAAWOL.com is my website. And yeah, I got all kinds of patterns. The pattern for this, though, I saved for the YouTube members. That's like $4 a month to be a YouTube member. But there's a bunch of like different sizes of this pattern over on YouTube. But like most everything I've ever done is on that website. Plus, there's lots of videos showing how I did it. So if you wanted to like make your own patterns, there's templates that you can use. There's all kinds of stuff. So yeah. I didn't know that worked over there. Nice move. And there's a shop. So if you're like, don't really want to learn, or you start trying to learn and you realize like, oh, hey, this is an awful lot of work. I actually sell a lot of my stuff. So you can go in there as well. Same web page. It's got a shop where if you want to actually just buy something, it's a whole lot easier than actually making stuff. But yeah, I definitely want to teach people how to make crafts like this. I think it's a great way of like, it's almost a meditation for me. And I would really love like other people to like discover that whole sense of like relaxation that a craft like this can bring. Definitely think that if you watch me making something, I do think that there is this distinct possibility that I might make it look really, really easy. Kind of like Fred Astaire dancing, you know? It looks pretty easy until you actually try to go do it. And then you end up tripping over the ottoman and end up going through the drywall and, make a big mess of your place. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. Like, I've done this for so long. It can look kind of easy, but it's not so hard that you can't learn it. It's not difficult. I would say this is easier than the dancing, so that's possibly because I can't dance. I don't know. Well, I saw this TV show or movie or something one time, and they had used the analogy about the Fred Astaire dancing and making it look simple, and I'm like, that's a great analogy. I'm not. I'm not disclosing that. No. Yes. Yes, those are the words I was looking for. That may or may not have happened. Really? Oh. Yeah, hang on. Hang on. I think I know why. Hang on. Uh, I think it has everything to do with that, and I'm trying to see if I can't. Um, which
Streams and wonder who he quote. As
right?
talking to. LMAO.
Hang on. I need to switch the thing again. Hang on. Sound.
And then you see me making funny faces.
Okay, can you hear the bot again? Say something, Mandy.
Hello, hello.
Okay, so we
Testing,
got Mandy
testing.
back. Okay, now type something in the chat. Why is that taking so long? Hey. Yay, I can hear the bot. You guys can't. Haha. Oh no. That's. I probably look really good blurry though. That's probably like the best I've ever looked. You can't tell that I need a shave or. No, I did shave today though. Yes, you can now hear the Mandy.
Can you hear the bandy?
Yeah, it took a little shuffling around with the whole audio thing, but we got it going, so that's cool. As long as you can still hear Mandy, that's a good thing. So anybody who hasn't seen this thing as a cylinder yet, get ready. I'm only a few knots away from pulling it off the plastic and rotating it again. Oh man, also crazy thing this week. I got a new controller to be able to play video games on my computer, but it's not the same as my old controller. The A-B switches are reversed and the X-Y switches are flipped. So I'm having to like reteach my brain how to do everything. It's a better remote. It fits my hands better. So it's worth getting used to it. But it's driving me insane that the buttons are flipped. It's so weird. Like I'll hit parts of my game where it's like, press Y, you know, and I'm like, I am, aren't I? Oh shit, no, it wasn't. Like I get killed because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Super frustrating. Well, it's not the most intense game.
Can you
Yes,
remap the buttons?
not that I can tell, and if I do, I might have to do that for every game. I don't know. I've thought about it. I've thought about taking out the little screws and seeing if I could flip things around inside, but like it's brand new and I don't want to mess it up. Heck yeah. So far, I've completely lost track of how many of these rows I've done. It feels like a bunch. Ah, Jesus. My hands started cramping again. So we got two more full rows and then a half a row to finish up where we are. Hang on. Can I draw a car? What? My art is in string, not drawing, but I suppose if I really tried, I could draw a car. That's a really weird request. Hang on. I'm going to take another magnesium pill. Man, when my hand cramps up like that, it was like my finger tried to go in a direction that it shouldn't. Hurts like hell. All right. Now to figure out where I left off at. Actually, I think I have this a little high. Bring it down just a little bit so you guys can see it better. Ah, hello, just string things. I guess we can play the puzzle game if it works this week. Now that we have our premier puzzle person. Oh, goodness. A very specific landing. Yeah. Amanda, you up for doing puzzles?
Sure.
All right, cool. Give my hands a little break. That'll do me good too. All right, let's go to here.
Woohoo!
I don't know why the applause are not going into the channel right. Like, you guys get all the other stuff from the bot except for this. I don't get it. Gonna make me insane. Hey, you guys were pretty quick.
But you're already insane.
Are you insane? What? Yeah, I think that was one of us. But no, there's a whole. Yeah. I'm trying to share the voices, but they don't want to talk to you. Are you sure about that? Wait, how's that song go? You're already a voice inside my head. You were a voice in my head for so many years. And then their song came along. I used to say that all the time.
You know, we're 1 month away from 17 years?
Yeah. She's already the voice inside my head.
But.
See, right there in my head. Oh my God, this is like that other night when you were talking about the. Yes, I miss you from Blink 182. Yeah, see, just string things. Totally. See, just. Now the headphones are going to play a song that I love the song. I don't know why. I keep trying to figure out what it means. I get the one headlight is a motorcycle. That's when they say I lost my only. That she died easy of a broken heart disease to the cemetery tree. Sun coming up at the funeral. Hey, come on, darling. Nothing is forever. Got to be something better than in the middle. Me and Cinderella. Put it all together. We can drive it home. With one headlight. It's cold. Feels like Independence Day. Was the puzzle that difficult? I'm guessing no. You guys are a pro at this already. It is forever. Got to be something better than in the middle. Me and Cinderella. Put it all together. We can drive it home. I know, right? It's a motorcycle. But the rest of the song doesn't make any sense. What about this? Who died in the funeral at dawn? Like, what's that all about? But the engine doesn't turn. Hey, hey, hey. Nothing is forever. Got to be something better than in the middle. Me and Cinderella. Drive it home. One hand. Hello. We're doing good. Art Amir. Something I don't get the first name. Arsian? Asian?
Awesome.
Arson? Hello. Welcome. In case you're wondering, I'm tying lots of knots, making a sleeve to put my phone in. Oh, right on. Yay! I am terrible when it comes to like odd names. Like, I had an American education, which basically means it was terrible. Yeah, I kind of figured I would recognize a name like that. But yeah, I tie knots, I make interesting things, and I encourage people to try it for themselves. It's kind of like the quickest rendition of what the channel is. A lot of times it's just simple bracelets and beginner stuff. This just happens to be a little bit more advanced. And it's making something for myself, which it really feels like I don't make a lot of things for myself. There's occasionally I'll make a bracelet and be like, nope, not selling that. That one's mine. That happens from time to time. But to actually make myself something, yeah, I don't do a lot of that. Wow. So you'll be cured in the future? Based on the name? Ooh, a mirror. See, that's really difficult because now that I live in Singapore, I know how diverse like this whole area over here can be. Like, it sounds like kind of a little bit like a Middle Eastern name, but that could easily also be something from like Indonesia or something. So I really have no idea. Yeah, just string things. It's Oh, I'm on 2 streams, by the way, Amir. So if I answer somebody else's question, it's because they're on the other thing. So too. You are the second person from Pakistan here tonight. There was somebody else came in earlier, and I thought, I honestly, I had thought of saying that, but I'm like, no. What are the chances of 2 guys from Pakistan in one night? Like that just didn't seem likely at all. Wow, that's way cool. So just string things like, are they just trying to mess up your insurance or something? Like, why would they think that you're cured when you're obviously still in pain? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Unless they're just trying to pull a fast one or something. Right. Oh, that's my wife, Mandy. Hang on, I need these strings. These go up. So yeah, we do the stream like every week on Saturday nights. It starts at 10 p.m. till 1 p.m. 1 a.m. in Singapore time, which is probably like afternoon for you, I'm guessing. Yeah, that's right. Wow. So we basically got almost all the way around 2 rows from starting at 10. It just turned midnight. Wow. Actually, I just saw a thing where one of the super conglomerate, whatever, black something in the US is suing the insurance company that had their CEO killed because after his death, they started passing more claims. And so this big whatever conglomerate thing is like, oh hell no, you're not losing all of our money that we put invested into you, like, you know. So they're actually suing the medical company for actually fulfilling insurance claims. Black something. It's the ones that are supposedly like super rich because they invested in property when everything tanked. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, they're suing the company who lost their CEO because they say that after his death, they started fulfilling more claims and lost them some value in the stock market. Not on this channel. Right. Looks like Rainbow's going in to have a closer look. Let me guess. You had some coffee? If it's that hot this early in the year, you're probably in for a bad couple months. Oh, just another quick reminder. Tomorrow is the first Sunday of the month. Even though it's the first, it's still the first Sunday. So it's the hangout day if you want to come and tell us stories and hang out with us. No. I just don't watch a lot of news because I get really emotional. I have a whole empathy thing that makes me go crazy. Don't glaciers usually move like really slow? I never understood that drug. for some odd reason, all it ever did for me was make me kind of awake and made my mouth numb. And it was just like, are we seriously paying $100 for this? This seems dumb. Right. Nature's getting fed up with our shit, that's all. I know this is terrible, but I just imagined, a group of like volunteers to go in there and try to find missing persons and trying to determine which tool on the knife that they're best to use in this circumstance. Yeah. But like, how big of an area got wiped out? Like one of those little tiny villages like you see in the really picturesque pictures, or like a proper city with like lots of people?
300 evacuated.
So little tiny village.
Mm-hmm. And the animals.
Somewhere there's a guy that was like, I knew I shouldn't yodel this morning. I just knew it. Yodel, yodel, oh! Ah!
I'm still blinking.
I thought you'd still be blinking over the whole army knife, the Swiss Army knives, trying to figure out which tool to use.
That too.
You don't think its little feet can reach the accelerator? I'm picturing little Francis trying to drive the car. It's like, oh, it's an emergency. Oh no. There we go. We went 2 full rows around the whole thing. And I honestly don't know how much further down to make it. Ah. I'm not sure how many more rows to come down. It looks like another 2, so at least. I think it's going to be 2. Because I want to make sure that it fits the phone in there really good. Otherwise, I'll end up putting it aside and trying to find something else to fit in there, like the light that I have for lighting up when I'm like doing photos of stuff. But that's already got one. I don't know what else I would use it for if I make it too short. Oh, wow. There's like a lag between when somebody texts and when it comes up on my screen. Yeah. It's a hard decision to say, like, do I really want to do a lot more work, or do I want to, like, end up not being happy? Yeah, that's completely relatable. Oh, I went to look for the shop that had some of my bags that I made. There was like a duration there where I made 6 or 8 bags. I don't remember. You remember how many it was?
6.
Was it 6 bags and then 8 bracelets per bag? Something crazy. So yeah, I went to go look for the shop here like a week or so ago, and they're gone. I don't know what happened to them. They had some of the most amazing things that, I've ever created. And I was going to show a friend, and they were gone. I don't know where they went to. All right, so that's one. No, it's got to be longer. Yeah, I think it's going to be two. And in my song playing in my ears is "One More Time Around" might do it. I tried to live, so one more time around might do it. No, I think it's just two. Please don't say three. I don't know. I think I can get away with doing two without having to add string. I have high hopes here. Might do it one more time around. One more time around. Join like little tassels on the outside. Because it's an even number, I can do it on the outside as opposed to on the inside. No. No super glue. There'll be like a bunch of like little knots to just put it all together. Oh man, that stuff's even worse. That stuff dries up and breaks. It'll get tied in a whole bunch of little knots, and then the little knots will give way to like the ending of bracelet kind of thing, and then bigger knots. I'm suddenly trying to picture the chewing on the hot glue gun part, and I'm not sure I'm liking the image that's in my head. One more time around. Yeah, I used to eat paper, like the that had like the little metal ring, metal spiral thing, and then you'd peel the piece of paper off of it. And there'd be those like little pieces on the side. I'd end up like chewing on those for a while. Oh, that sounds familiar. Is Malcolm on in the middle? Is that like on Netflix or something? Oh, really?
Not on Netflix. Disney Plus. Nope.
Not for
here.
us.
Mm.
Darn it. Right. Oh, if I was a run, then not 16. Might as well get fucking on this. Sick of things like God, and they broke out of depression and obsession, and together they go down with guitars around. And the ginger ale. Right. I love the clip from Malcolm in the Middle, where the dad, they're like, basically everybody says that the proof that he has ADHD when he went and the light bulb was out, and then he went to the cupboard and that was a problem, and then he realized he didn't have WD-40, so then that was a problem, and then he went, car wouldn't start, and his wife comes in and it's like, hey, the light in the kitchen, can't you see I'm fixing it? And he's like under the car working on it. Like, so relatable. Right. I think my favorite episode was they were having the school like a fair, or like have everybody like come together, whatever, and like it was totally bombing, and they're like, all right, it's time for Malcolm to do the thing, and he like took the number from a credit card and started multiplying it by stuff and doing like all this crazy stuff with the numbers, and like people are like, is he right? Like, oh, he's right. It was so cool. The asthmatic kid is like working on a calculator next to him. Yeah. Well, so now that I'm almost done with going 2 rows, the string does look long enough that I might be able to get it squeak a third. Yeah, so I was kind of excited if the series was on one of the streaming channels, I would actually sit and watch those. I've never watched them in order, and the episodes I've seen are so random that I don't even totally get the whole gist of everything. All right, 2 rows. So now let's see. It'd be close. It would be really close. Why does the thing keep getting harder and harder to slide off of here? I wonder if I could do 3 rows up. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed that Disney Plus is different in America than it is here. It's not fair that you get to watch stuff and I can't. I'm an American, damn it. If I'm stuck with the title, it might as well be good for something.
But it's true for all the streaming services.
I know, right? Yeah. Yeah, they don't like VPNs. They want to know all that information. What the heck? It just ended with Black Rocking Beats by the Chemical Brothers. And then the DJ came up like, I'm going to start another upbeat bunch of songs for you, starting with Black Rocking Beats. It's playing the same song back to back. What? My digital DJ's on some kind of batteries or something. I don't know. He's huffing batteries, or what is a electronic thing do for drugs? It's supposed to be like an AI DJ for Spotify. I mean, I love the song. I'm not gonna fast forward, but ooh, we have Amazon. Ah. Got all excited there. If you have Disney Plus, you've got to go back and watch some of the older classics. They really put so much work into some of the old ones. I'll give you an example. Gus is a good one. And then what was his name? Kurt Russell was in a couple of the strongest man in the world, I think is one of them, and the smartest man in the world. We're both supposed to be like this college university doing wild stuff and mayhem. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Like, oh, and Gus, the donkey that plays football. That was right on. Trust me, on a day off, go find something nice to roll up and sit down and watch the movie Gus. You will laugh so hard. Yeah. Perfect day off, getting nothing done, smoking away the day. Yeah, watch Gus. You will Yeah, I don't know about that one. That was kind of silly, weird. Gus has um, Don Knotts and Tim Conway are part of the henchmen's bad guys, and you know those guys are incompetent fools and idiots, and the mayhem that happens. We played it for a whole bunch of kids, and everybody was cracking up and going absolutely crazy. So I mean, yeah, if you kick back with a little bit of old Mother Nature there, you probably really enjoy the hell out of this movie. It's so damn funny. Like I probably watched it when I was a kid, like at the movies, but like looking back at it, they really did so much amazing. Just the way they clipped it together, just the way they made it believable. So now I'm not even certain if I can get this finished next week. What Wednesday? What August? I'm suddenly really confused. I missed something. What did I miss?
Wednesday, the series, season
Oh,
2.
um, I was gonna make this a 3-row, like movement upwards at once, but then I realized like how close to 1 o'clock it was, so I stopped at 2, and like now I'm trying to rush to get this last one done. It's like really close. I'm wondering if I might just work on this a little bit tomorrow during the hangout, just so that way I can have it finished next week. It wouldn't be cheating if I'm actually still live streaming, right? No, you're more than welcome to play Malcolm in the Middle. All right. See, I don't like leaving it off, I don't know, like a spot where I can't picture where I'm at. It wouldn't be rude. Rude is laughing at you for not being able to see what's happening because it's really funny. But that's okay. I can live with it. Yeah, it's just really close to being done. All right, guys. It's been a night, man. Back tomorrow with the hangout, and where's my, oh, there we go. Special thanks to all of my YouTube members who make this stuff possible. It's their contributions that help make it, you know, so I have the strings, so I have the cameras, the mic, everything. So thank you guys so much for all of that. And we'll be back next week where I'm pretty sure this whole thing will get finished up. So I'm really looking forward to getting this one done. And then I get to show off. All right, guys, have a good one. And oh, where's the thing? Oh, don't get your strings in a bunch, guys.